Killing the weak version of yourself, a psychological and strategic approach to personal transformation. This thesis explores the philosophy of overcoming personal weakness and building resilience through deliberate action, psychological reprogramming, and strategic self-improvement. Using historical case studies, psychological research, and contemporary success stories, this work dissects the barriers that hold individuals back from achieving their highest potential and provides a structured framework to eliminate those limitations. The study includes empirical data, psychological theories, and strategies used by elite athletes, business leaders, and influential figures to transcend mediocrity and cultivate a mindset of excellence. The research also delves into the biological underpinnings of resilience, the neurochemistry of motivation, and the psychological principles that dictate why some people remain stagnant while others push beyond their limits. By analyzing environmental influences, social conditioning, and personal accountability, this study provides an all-encompassing approach to self-mastery. Introduction. The journey towards self-mastery begins with a single realization: there exists within each of us a weak version that prevents us from reaching our full potential. This weak self is built from years of conditioning, fear, and a preference for comfort. In contrast, the strong self is forged through resilience, action, and an uncompromising commitment to personal growth. Research from Stanford University's Mindset Theory by Carol Dweck suggests that individuals who adopt a growth mindset, believing that abilities and intelligence can be developed, are significantly more likely to push past obstacles and achieve success. In contrast, those with a fixed mindset tend to retreat in the face of difficulty, allowing the weak self to dominate their lives. This thesis will explore the science behind personal transformation, drawing from psychology, neuroscience, and real-world case studies to illustrate the power of eliminating self-imposed limitations. The science of personal weakness, fear, and hesitation are deeply embedded in human psychology. Research on learned helplessness by Martin Seligman demonstrates how repeated failures can condition individuals into believing they have no control over their circumstances. This conditioning leads to avoidance behaviors that reinforce personal weakness. Neuroscientific studies reveal that the amygdala, the brain's fear center, plays a crucial role in how we perceive risk and discomfort. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for rational decision-making, can override fear responses through deliberate cognitive training. Studies in neuroplasticity indicate that repeated exposure to challenging situations can rewire the brain, making discomfort more tolerable over time. Charles Duhigg's research on habits, as outlined in The Power of Habit, emphasizes how individuals can override ingrained behaviors by identifying cues, altering responses, and reinforcing new patterns. Understanding these mechanisms provides insight into why some individuals remain trapped in cycles of procrastination and self-doubt, while others push through adversity. Further studies by Angela Duckworth on grit reveal that sustained perseverance in the face of obstacles is more predictive of long-term success than intelligence or talent. By analyzing the neural pathways that reinforce resilience, researchers have discovered that the more an individual faces hardship and overcomes it, the more their brain builds resilience as a natural response. This explains why elite military units like the Navy SEALs use extreme training regimens to create mental toughness, and why top-level entrepreneurs endure countless failures before achieving success. Identifying the weak version of yourself. The first step toward transformation is awareness. Weakness often manifests through procrastination, self-doubt, and a reliance on external validation. By conducting a self-audit, individuals can pinpoint the specific behaviors that hold them back. Michael Jordan's high school rejection became the catalyst for his legendary work ethic, proving that setbacks can either reinforce weakness or fuel determination. Similarly, Thomas Edison's thousands of failed attempts before inventing the light bulb highlight the necessity of persistence in the face of failure. Practical exercises, such as listing out personal fears, maintaining a failure journal, and daily self-assessment routines, can help individuals recognize patterns of weakness and actively work to overcome them. Additionally, examining one's social influences, identifying negative or complacent individuals who reinforce weak behaviors, is critical in removing barriers to growth. The power of discomfort and suffering growth is impossible without discomfort. Neuroscientific research on pain tolerance reveals that exposure to controlled adversity strengthens resilience. The principle of hormesis, where small doses of stressors result in greater adaptability, suggests that regular exposure to hardship conditions the mind and body to withstand greater challenges. David Goggins' transformation from an obese, struggling young man to an elite Navy SEAL exemplifies the power of embracing suffering. Goggins adopted a mental framework in which pain became an ally rather than an enemy, allowing him to push past perceived limitations. The Spartans of ancient Greece incorporated pain tolerance into their training regimens, believing that suffering built the necessary toughness for battle. Today, professional athletes and military personnel use progressive overload, the intentional, incremental increase of difficulty, to develop resilience. Daily suffering techniques, such as cold showers, high-intensity interval training, and extended fasting, can systematically dismantle personal weakness. The role of dopamine in neurochemistry and action-taking scientific studies show that dopamine, the neurotransmitter responsible for motivation and reward, plays a significant role in behavior reinforcement. People who condition their dopamine responses around achievement and self-discipline are far more likely to take action, whereas those who allow dopamine to be hijacked by instant gratification, social media, excessive entertainment, processed foods are more likely to remain weak. Training the brain to seek reward through personal accomplishment rather than passive entertainment is essential for transformation. Overcoming setbacks and preventing relapses. Failure is inevitable, but it is not final. Jeff Bezos and Steve Jobs both experienced massive failures before achieving monumental success. Developing anti-fragility, using setbacks as catalysts for growth, requires mental reframing, adaptive strategies, and persistence. Ray Dalio, in his book Principles, discusses the concept of pain plus reflection equal to progress, explaining how failure provides essential data for future success. By systematically analyzing mistakes, individuals can extract valuable lessons and strengthen their strategic approach toward goals. The weak version of oneself views failure as an endpoint. The strong version sees it as part of the process. Conclusion and final call to action. The weak version of oneself is not a permanent state, it is a choice. By adopting the principles outlined in this thesis, individuals can systematically destroy personal limitations and unlock their highest potential. The final challenge: take immediate action. The person you choose to feed is the one who will live. Kill the weak version. Let the strong one rise. A 30-day action plan is recommended for immediate implementation. This plan includes setting aggressive goals, implementing adversity training, conducting personal audits, and measuring progress through rigorous self-accountability. Individuals are encouraged to journal their experiences and continuously refine their mindset to eliminate complacency. This thesis serves as both a manifesto and a strategic guide, integrating scientific research, historical insights, and real-world applications to provide a transformational framework for those who refuse to accept mediocrity.